Good afternoon, ladies, and welcome to yet another Confidence Leads to Success interview series with me, Elif Köse. I am really excited to have Augustina Tetsola here with me. I want to tell you how I met her before I invite her to the stage because as you all know, I'm a fashion designer and I have a ladies' clothing boutique in Brighton. And one day, this gorgeous, gracious woman walked into my boutique and she spotted a mindset book on my desk by Carol Dweck. And we started talking and having a chat. Other than shopping, of course, I won't go into the details of that, but that's how we found out our passion of helping women and empowering them. And then Augustina told me, and we ended up finding out how many people we know in common. And I just thought, wouldn't it be amazing to have this wonderful woman to come and give us and share her passion how she helps unleash the woman's magnificence as a life angel coach, and she can just tell us how she helps women to change their mindset that takes them to success in their journey. Hello, Augustina, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me in here, Elif. I'm really excited and I feel honored and privileged to be sharing my passion with you and all your lovely, amazing women. So yeah, I'm Augustina Tetsola and I worked as a criminal lawyer for over 23 years. And I was really fortunate several years ago when I took an early redundancy package and started to look for work that would reflect where I am in life and reflect me more authentically. So it sounds strange to say that I was lucky, but I was lucky to have a near-death experience. And I'm smiling as I say that because you just never know when something happens, why it happens. You only know when you join the dots looking back why it happens. So that near-death experience, which ended well, was my wake-up call. And yeah, I started to look for work that was more reflective of my heart and that was more going to be of more service. And I started to look at my why. And yeah, I trained as a divorce coach with one of the global leaders in the country called Sara Davison.
Amazing.
So yeah, as a divorce coach, I actually was inspired to train because one of my very best friends at the time was absolutely devastated. What she said was a catastrophe by discovering that her husband had been having an affair for almost the entirety of her marriage. So I sprung into action, and as they say, the rest is history. I supported her. She got a really good legal settlement. She overcame the emotional roller coaster of pain and suffering and has created a wonderful life now.
That's
So I started
wonderful.
working as a divorce coach as a result of that encounter.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. I love that how your mindset works. Instead of focusing that life didn't happen to you, it's happened for you, and you took that in a completely positive sense rather than going into the deep and darkness, and you twisted it around and just said actually it was blessing.
Mm,
That mindset is the winner.
mm.
I love it. And tell us how could someone who feels that they're not enough, they can't really start, they just how could they find that courage to start?
Okay. Are you talking about just starting a new project or just starting afresh in life or?
It could be, I would say, starting. A lot of women who are in business, or they are either working or they're already in business, but sometimes I feel like I've witnessed over and over again, they have got so much potential in them. They have done so much, they don't even realize how big of a deal they are, but
Mm,
they don't have that courage to go to the next level,
mm,
to actually like skyrocket their income, success, and the satisfaction of how much they can help others? How could they change their mindset that they can just go for it?
Okay, so this is another passion of mine. I am a real geek on mindset mastery. Apart from being a divorce coach, you will have seen that I wrote a life coaching manual, which has been certified by the Complementary Therapists Association. So I train other coaches at my life coaching academy, and I always start with mindset. Everything starts with mindset. So when I met you, Liv, you were reading the book by Carol Dweck called Mindset.
Yeah.
And I knew immediately that we were kindred spirits, because in life, whatever you want to achieve, you've got to understand the inner game, how life works, and you've got to understand that we're very powerful, and that the universe that we call the mind is our superpower.
That's right.
The mind is our superpower, and it's a treasure trove. But if we don't know how to use it, then actually it doesn't really help us. So a lot of what I do is helping people to understand the fixed and growth mindset, and
That's
why,
right.
if we can cultivate and develop the growth mindset, that is the key to our version of success.
That's right. I love that. I mean, I actually tell all my clients after our first deep dive session, two books to read. One is Tiny Habits and the second one is Mindset, because I've recently added the third book I think everybody needs to read is Emotional Agility by Susan Davis. That's another really good book I think would help everyone who wants to really up level themselves in every way. You don't even have to be in business sometimes. You've got to be in complete with yourself, don't you?
Mm.
How can you help someone if you're not complete?
That's absolutely spot on, and that book is amazing. Emotional intelligence, I think, sits right next to mindset and mindfulness and all the other important work that we can do to put ourselves in the space to manifest what we want to manifest in this life. So all of these philosophies and theories, they're inextricably linked. So in terms of mindset, just talk a little bit, although I'm passionate about helping people develop the growth mindset, because with the growth mindset, it's not just about intelligence, it's about recognizing that although we all think that, our ability, some of us think our abilities are carved in stone, that's just not true. That we can work, we can put the effort in to develop our intelligence, and potential is so important. So important to recognize that even when you fail, as so many successful people have done in history, that's just the beginning, and you've got to continue to try and try and try. And that's what the growth mindset encourages, because at the end of the day, you will get there, and you will be far more successful than the individual who had such talent that they could just breeze it.
Having the growth mindset also helps someone who goes through difficulties, who goes through failure and success. I mean, I know we all talk about success, but there is also the failure that we might face, which you will do. There will be some mistakes that you're going to have like experienced along the way, but having the growth mindset will actually give you a different perspective to say, what have I learned from it, rather than why am I failed? And then
Absolutely.
move forward to the next level is so important. So if someone wants to do one practice and they never knew what we're talking about, I mean, we're so synced in. I know, I love talking to you. But how, if someone has never heard about these mindset and finding their why, how would you be able to give them like one like one little exercise that they could do now?
I'm so glad that you said that, because this is actually a very, very important topic. And I think very important for women, because the way that we've been conditioned, our societal conditioning in the past has meant that women have been very shy about stepping into their power.
Yeah.
And I don't want to generalize, but I think we know that the way that men have been brought up, they find it easier to. But of course, women are breaking through all of those now and having major breakthroughs, which we're really happy about. So you asked me a question. There's lots of ways of rewiring, reprogramming, changing your mindset so it reflects the mindset that you need to deliver of your goals. One of the most important ways that I encourage people to do this is just to have that awareness. Everything is about awareness, because when you know something, the door is open. So when you know that we're in our conscious mind 5% of the time,
That's
and
right.
in our subconscious mind 95% of the time. So I always say to people, your conscious mind is the captain. Your subconscious mind, where you are 95% of the time, they are the sailors. So you have to tell with belief in your conscious mind, you have to tell your subconscious mind what to do.
That's right.
Okay? That's why we have affirmations, which are fantastic. And you have to do it with conviction and belief. So you can use affirmations to rewire your subconscious mind. And people often talk about having those affirmations in the morning and at night, because at night the brain is very receptive. So that would be a really big way of doing it. I could give you other ways that we do it, but I don't want to get too neuroscience-y about it.
So when you say affirmation, I do this, by the way. I'm only sharing it with our audience if they don't know. What do you mean by affirmation? So, like, for instance, I had the other day, I had my affirmation was like, I choose life. I choose life. All day I said that. The reason I'm going to be very open and vulnerable about it, because I, as you know, I have a digital agency as well. We have lots of clients there. We help with their businesses digitally. I am only the chief executive of it, but I still am responsible. And we had one client out of 100 had a problem, and it took me so deeply that I felt. And then I decided, if I continue worrying about something that had already happened and finished in the past, all I will do, I will devalue my day and my emotions, and it will affect everything. So I decided to choose life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept saying that. Or I would say, I'm enough.
Mm.
Or I would say, I love me. I say that a lot. What would be your affirmation?
Yeah, there's lots of different affirmations. You have the affirmations that always start with I am. So I am clever, I am beautiful, I am successful, I am enough, I am magnificent.
I am phenomenal. Say it, ladies, out loud. I am phenomenal.
Everyone is phenomenal. It's just
Exactly.
whether they believe it. So it's not about being in your ego. It's not about being a show off. It's just living your authentic life, living in your essence. You know, we talk a lot about self-love, but if we really don't believe that we're enough, then actually we're going to struggle with loving ourselves fully. So this is really important work, to have these affirmations that reflect what you want to manifest in your life. And actually the captain in your conscious mind is going to tell your subconscious mind what it wants it to believe, so that we're living more consciously, we're living more intentionally, we're living more purposefully. It all comes down to awareness. We have the opportunity to choose who we want to be at any given time. And I think this is really powerful. It's very simple and yet so powerful.
Very powerful. I know, it's so fascinating. This is why I feel so lucky that I was able to create these interview series with magnificent women. I'm so happy that you're here, and all our speakers have been so wonderful throughout last 15 days. I can't believe it's already been 15 days.
Absolutely amazing women. I was totally blown away by the caliber of all the women, and I did think, yeah, I'm really lucky to be part of this series, and I feel so much
The
better.
one thing in common with every single one of them and me is we are on a mission to help everyone who's listening, who feel they're not enough, who feel that they can't do it, who feel they just want to tell you, ladies, you can do it. You can do it. You will do it. You are doing it. Just believe in that. That is so important. So, is there anything that I am missing out that I haven't asked you that you think the audience should hear from you?
There's lots I can tell you.
Go for it.
It's not really about me or my business,
Of
the Life
course.
Angel brand. I started with divorce coaching, which I still am very passionate about. And then I went into life coaching because I was finding that when women were able to overcome the roller coaster of emotions and the challenges that they faced in their divorce and separation, which incidentally, I know that most people know this, that divorce and separation, apart from bereavement, is the second most challenging life event.
I've been through it. I know.
Exactly. It really can feel at the time that life is over. So there is a grief cycle that people go through. They feel as though literally the devastation, the despair, they lose their confidence.
Yep.
And to be able to guide and support people through that process is very humbling. And because of my legal background, I was able to navigate them through the legal process. I work with a team of lawyers and other professionals.
So nice.
So when they work with me, they get a heads up, because once a lawyer, always a lawyer. So I'm able to give them advantage. And I think if someone is in the position where they're going through divorce or separation, it's really important that you do your research and make sure that you are aware of the process that you're going into.
Yes.
So many people, because of the pain, go into what I call divorce fog. And understandably, because of the pain and the emotions, they don't really have clarity about how they want to approach the process. And consequently, people can sometimes make the wrong mistake because they've acted from a place of emotion. You know, anger, which is one of the stages of grief, is really is healthy because it gets you to an extent. You know, it motivates you.
Yes.
But then you have to start to look at whether you're acting from a place of a destructive emotion. So one of the important tips I would give anyone who finds themselves in this position is to try and understand that, you know, all the feelings that you're having is perfectly normal, and try and not be judgmental, be compassionate, and allow yourself to have those feelings. Don't try and compartmentalize it, because it will come up somewhere else.
That's right.
So just recognize the feelings, allow yourself to feel, and allow the feelings to really work through and understand what's going on. But probably not the best time to make those important life decisions going forward. So the big tip is find yourself a network of people, whether it's a divorce coach like me or a network of good friends who have an understanding, who can hold your hand and guide you when you're right in the emotion, in the eye of the storm. And once you're through that, or you're working your way through that, then you're much better placed to make those important decisions that you need to make with clarity and focus.
That's right.
And sometimes that's not the best time to go into a lawyer's office, because all the lawyer will do is listen to your sad story, and that will cost you a lot of money.
Yeah, per hour.
Yeah. So you might want to work with somebody, whether it's a friend or a member of the family. Just get a team around you, or a divorce coach, or whoever you're comfortable with, just to work through those feelings, those roller coaster of emotions. So by the time you turn up in the office of a lawyer, you have clarity about what you want and how you want it. So you're not so vulnerable.
It's such you know you I mean this is your profession and you specialize in this subject, but as someone who has been through a divorce myself, just over 5 years ago, and the emotions you go through, you feel that you're the biggest failure. You think, because you're committed when you're married, you think that's it, that you're committed, you love, and this is forever, and you give your oath like that. But when it comes to an end, everything gets on your way, and your emotions, you're up and down. And you are right, if you go to a lawyer, it will cost you a lot more. So I wish, I mean, I was lucky, and I was I was so in control of my emotions, and I've managed to come out of it very amicably. And we even had a big hug on the way out, and separated. Even like, we was like, you take that, you love that more, or no, you keep that out, you pick that anyway, like that kind of at the end. But like you said, I had a great tribe of people around me who guided me, who helped me on the days that I was angry. They helped me not to make the wrong decision. So it's very important to be able to control that roller coaster.
Mm.
So they do get a coach, ladies.
Yeah, just to have the awareness of what's happening to you emotionally, that is
Yeah,
really important. So you don't feel like there's anything wrong. It's all normal. So
yeah,
often people feel in this situation they've lost their past, they lost their present, they've lost their future.
yeah,
Life has ended, but that's just not true, because
yeah,
with my divorce coaching, when I was supporting women to walk through these murky waters,
yeah,
at the end of it, they were asking me to help them to create a beautiful new life, because that's the prize. Because to be honest with
yeah.
you, most people just don't realize that life just gets a lot better once you've turned.
Do you know, when someone tells me, I'm just going through, I've just divorced, do you know what I say? Congratulations! What a wonderful news! And they go, you're the only one said that to me.
Because you've got a growth mindset. I'm not advocating divorce parties in any way,
No.
but you can see where that comes from. The fact of the matter is, if you love yourself and you know that life is a gift that keeps giving, the most important thing to do is to uncouple consciously, just like Gwyneth Paltrow, if you can. If there are no issues of abuse, it's really so much better. And I encourage this, that people are compassionate in their uncoupling.
Yeah.
If there are children, co-parenting is so much easier if you can uncouple compassionately.
Yeah.
But it always comes down to me being able to support people to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Because if you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, you're much more motivated to work towards
Yeah.
that and move away from despair.
Yeah.
So
I think
life
that
is only,
optimism is very important.
yes. So
Yeah.
it was through doing that that I started life coaching, and then I wrote my own life coaching manual, and that's how I started training life coaches. So
Amazing.
I've got 3 products. I've got the divorce coaching, the life coaching, and then I train coaches as well, and they've just all evolved naturally.
That's beautiful. So, what would be your tip if someone wants to take your route of life coaching or any kind of coaching? How could they find their dot or why, whatever you call it? How could they find it?
So I think working with your why is really important, and I have to say that money doesn't feature in the why. So we need to just put that aside. And with Simon Sinek's why, it's about your values and beliefs. So you have to look and think, what is my sole purpose? What is my passion? What is it that makes me feel happy? What is going to make me feel fulfilled and satisfied? And when you've gone through that process, which that whatever you choose to do at the end of it is going to reflect who you are. So when people meet us and we tell them what we do, they will see that you're authentic. So you're being in alignment. So you're not saying I'm a life coach, but actually you're not being congruent in how you're showing up.
Yeah.
So you'd have to find out what your passion is and what you want to deliver. What do you want to be known for? do you want to be somebody in this life that has actually made a difference? And if so, what is it that you're passionate about? How do you want to make a difference? Because we're all unique. We're all incredibly talented. We can all do it. It's just spending some time tapping in and listening to that inner voice.
Beautiful. Such a lot of golden nuggets you keep giving. It's wonderful. Okay, I'm not going to keep you too long. My last question is always about confidence. What does confidence mean to you?
So for me, confidence is liberation. It's the freedom to be the full expression of my true nature. So we talk a lot about authenticity. In the society we live in, we're often not allowed to be vulnerable. All of you that have read Brené Brown's book know how important vulnerability is. It's our superpower.
That's right.
So if we can live more authentically, we can automatically be confident because we're happy to show people who we are. So now we're happy to play the inner game. And I have to say, to be a leader, confidence and being authentic is a leadership quality.
That's
So
right.
if you can't be authentic, then actually you're going to struggle with being a leader, because when you allow yourself to be fully seen and be who you are, you give other people permission
That's
to
right.
be fully seen and be who they are.
Amazing.
So it's freedom.
Freedom, ladies. Let yourself free. This has been just beautiful, Augustina. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I've absolutely loved it, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed it too. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone, at the same time.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.